Am I the asshole for exposing my sister's sexual history to her newlywed husband and his conservative family? Yeah, I'm aware this title sounds extremely weird and gross, but please bear with me. Also, throwaway account because I don't want my family to find this post. My M22 oldest sister Emma, F28 and not real name, got married last week to Mike, M31 and also not real name. Mike and I have a great relationship, as he has helped me with my studies since I met him back when I was 18. He is an engineer and I study the same program as he has in the same university. Despite having known him for 3 years, I've grown to basically consider him as a brother I never had. Given my love for Mike, I hope this clears out any type of speculation that I did this out of spite of him. Emma and I have not had a good relationship at any point in our lives. She has tormented me heavily during my early childhood, but the real issue was all her past boyfriends and any type of relationship adjacent to that. She would always sneak boys into the house and would force my other sister Jenna, 25F and once again not real name, and I to cover for her. I should also mention Mike and Emma only entered a relationship a year ago. When I first met Mike, he was just a dude who was friend-zoned. Fast forward to the actual event being Mike and Emma's wedding. Jenna and I sit beside a cousin we were both close with in our teenage years and haven't seen in years. Our cousin kept asking us about some of her ex-boyfriends in a mocking way. This sparked up a huge conversation full of stories Jenna and I had on Emma's many hookups. Our cousin tells us to go outside with her as she needs a cigarette, so we continue our conversation there. Unfortunately, Mike also likes to smoke and overheard some of the stories, and we wouldn't find out until later, but Mike's mother had also overheard Jenna telling the story of Emma's pregnancy scare when she was 19 and how she told our father that it was Jenna's pregnancy test in the bathroom bin. Word spread quickly around Mike's family, and a lot of his family, including some of his siblings and his father, have warned Mike to get an annulment. Emma is extremely furious at Jenna and I for slut shaming, and is telling us that we knew Mike's family was conservative, so we screwed up everything by speaking of it aloud with the family present. Mike is angry at me for not telling him about Emma's history before. Jenna does not take any of this seriously, which is understandable, but I have a close relationship with Mike and I would hate to lose it because of this. I have asked Mike if he wants to annul his marriage and he did not give me an answer. Am I the asshole? Edit: people have an issue with me using the term friendzone. English is not my native tongue, so I misuse the term. Sorry for the confusion. Mike and Emma were just friends for a couple of years. What do you think? Are they the asshole? Leave your opinion in the comments. Am I the asshole for refusing to miss some of my kids' events when my ex-wife's husband asked? I share 2 kids, Indy, 10 meters, and Colby, 8F, with my ex-wife Thora. We have remained very close and she and I don't follow a strict parenting plan. We do our best to have the kids see us both as much as possible. We celebrate every birthday, every Christmas together, and we show up to support our kids together as much as we can make work with our jobs. Our families are also still very tight. The kids love it. Sometimes it will be my parenting time, but they want Thora and so they spend that day with her, or vice versa. Works so well for the kids. Thora married Michael in November 2021. He and I got along in the beginning. He clearly loved Thora and was great with the kids, which is what Thora and I cared most about. But then this past summer some things changed with Michael. An example is Indy was singing and playing an instrument at this little talent show his summer camp set up. Thora and I both went, so did Michael, who took the day off work. Michael did not look happy to see me, and once Thora was not within earshot or sightline, he was visibly tense and I swear he groaned at some point near me. Then Thora had to go out of state to see a friend of hers who was very sick. The kids chose to stay with me and I don't believe Michael was happy about that. I tried to ask him about it, but he swore things were fine. In November, Indy and Colby had a busy month with different standout things within extracurriculars and school. I was lucky enough to attend 9/10 of them, with Thora attending 8/10. Michael got to attend 3/10. All 3 were ones I could attend and it felt very much like he didn't want me there. Late last month, when Michael and I were the ones attending a school function for the kids, that he asked me to show up to less of the kids' events and let him and Thora do some of that stuff with the kids as a family. I told him they already do. He said not when I'm around. That I am getting in the way of him being a parental figure for the kids. I told him he was a parental figure and the kids love him. He said they will never consider us equal until they see him instead of me at some of these events. He said it's important for the more stable family unit of 4. I told him I was not willing to miss the kids' events. He did not take it well and accused me of interfering and alienating their chances of a family unit. He texted me after the event with things he wanted me to miss, including Indy's elementary school graduation in May. I told him it was not happening. He told me Thora wanted this too. Thora knew nothing of this and told me the kids would be so upset if we did what Michael wanted, which I knew also. She was angry at Michael. Michael is angry at me still. He called me an asshole. I don't want to believe I'm an asshole, but I know this is not the norm for every divorced parent situation, and it makes me ask if I am TA for not letting them have some of those events just them. What do you think? Are they the asshole? Leave your opinion in the comments. Am I the asshole for serving my obese mother a salad, while everyone else had a full course? Our family has a tradition where every few months my wife and I will host my parents for dinner. We get together, talk about our lives, and usually have a good time. My mother, 63F, is obese. She is almost 250 pounds and her condition is getting worse every year. The thing is that every single time my wife and I host dinner, she will always say that she wants to lose weight, but it's impossible because everyone, including my dad, spoils her with too much food. I get annoyed by these comments because I know that's not true. She has an enormous appetite, and even if she isn't served any food, she will go to the refrigerator to grab something to eat. So a week ago it became time for our family dinner again. I told my wife that I think this time we should only serve salad to my mom, since she was always complaining of too much food, and she agreed with me. We served the salad and everything is good. Then it was time for the main course. We had pork ribs. I get up and serve the three of us, my wife, my dad and me. Then I sit on the table and start eating. My mom was surprised and said, "Hey, did you forget me?" And that's when I told her that since she was always complaining of being spoiled with too much food, we decided it's best not to serve her any additional meals. My dad chuckled, but my mom was not amused at all. She started shouting and saying that's obviously not what she meant and how we were allegedly making fun of her weight. I told her calmly that if she wants, we can still serve her the ribs, but at this point she said that she felt extremely disrespected, and she made my dad leave the dinner. He later told me they went to the local McDonald's after that. It's been a week since this happened and my mother isn't returning any of my calls. So, am I the asshole here? What do you think? Are they the asshole? Leave your opinion in the comments. Am I the asshole for announcing my pregnancy at my sister's wedding? I'm 32, my sister is 28, and we've always been incredibly close. Point in case, she was the first person I told that I was pregnant, besides my husband of course. I told her essentially a week after I got a positive pregnancy test, which was about 3 months before her wedding. I told her that I was going to tell our parents and my husband's parents around the 10-week mark, but she told me that I should hold off until her wedding in September. I'd be like 4 months along at that point, so I wouldn't be showing really, and she thought it would be so special for her to be able to make an announcement about a special guest at her wedding and it be her first niece or nephew, and my parents' first grandbaby. I agreed, because it seemed like it meant a lot to her and, again, we were super close and I was happy to do that for her. Turns out, the first trimester was awful with morning sickness and exhaustion. I would have preferred to be able to talk about it with my mom, but I was willing to grin and bear it for my sister's wedding. Well, the wedding came along, and about halfway through the night, I asked her when the announcement was happening. She told me that she had changed her mind and that her wedding didn't seem like a good time or place to announce my pregnancy. I was obviously super upset since I went through a really awful first trimester with only my sister and husband to lean on. I decided I wasn't going to put the announcement on hold any longer just for her, so my husband and I pulled my parents aside and quietly told them to keep it private for the evening. They were thrilled, lots of hugs, a few tears, but a very touching and private moment. Literally no one else found out until I announced it on Facebook a week later. My sister found out around the same time as my Facebook post when my dad mentioned how we told him about it, and she texted me and called me a bitch who made her wedding about myself, and she hasn't spoken to me since. I've messaged her and apologized probably a dozen times since then, but she refuses to talk to me, and now she refuses to come see her little nephew who is almost a month old at this point. My parents and partner think I did nothing wrong since she went back on her word, and that I should just wait it out and she'll come around. I'm obviously unsure as clearly this has made her so upset with me, and we were so close before. Am I the asshole? Edit. I've seen a lot of comments saying that I was trying to be petty, mean, vindictive, spiteful, hurt my sister, etc., and I just wanted to address that really quickly. If I had been any of those things, I would have made sure she found out that I had done it, you know? She just happened to find out a week later because my dad let it slip. I just desperately wanted to tell my mom, and after waiting over 2 months for my sister, it really felt like I couldn't wait another moment at the whims of someone who wasn't even involved in the pregnancy. I understand now though that I definitely should not have waited to tell my mom about the pregnancy. Hindsight is 20/20 and all that. What do you think? Are they the asshole? Leave your opinion in the comments.